Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video today, we're going to go over on how to keep up and catch up in Marvel Strike Force if you are free to play. A little bit about myself, if you are new to the channel or something, is in my first 3 years of Marvel Strike Force, I was pretty much free to play. I was very light spender. In this year of 2021, basically I've been buying a battle pass each month. Nothing more than that really. I did buy the Polaris offer, but that was for a stream. But I don't buy any gold offers or training orb offers or anything along those lines. I've just been purely investing in my characters pretty continuously, and I kind of want to go over a strategy that I started to do in my 3rd year of Marvel Strike Force, and it's very much so helped me out. But yeah, let's get right into it. So how do you keep up in Marvel Strike Force, and how do you kind of get ahead if you're free to play? So what we need to figure out is how often characters come out. Yes, I know when a patch comes, you get 3 characters right away, but how often does Marvel Strike Force say that you will have access to those characters? And that answer is between 10 to 11 days. And how we figured that out is we have 62 launch characters. So that was right when the game launched. There was only 62 characters. Total characters right now is 166. If you're watching this, today is patch day, or it's been patch day, and it's 169 now, but it's still going to be between 10 and 11. And the total days since launch has been 1,127. So that gives us about a new character every 10.84 days. So we're just going to call it 10 days just to keep it simple. To take a character from level 1 to level 80 costs 7,777,000 gold and some change. So we want to take that number and divide it by the 10 days that it takes between each character release. So that means that you will have to be spending 777,751 to keep up in Marvel Strike Force in gold. Now I know a lot of you probably don't have the gold for that every day, or you don't have the training modules for that every day. And so basically, if you're at that point, don't freak out. There's strategies that you can do, and that gold is available to you. You just have to look in the right way for it, or you have to just give it more time and work on your roster. But you can't actually spend this 777,751 perfectly. So the closest number to that is 777,825, and that will cost you 5 green training mats and 621 blue training mats. So let's go look at what that looks like on a character. All right, so this is what it looks like on a character. We have our multiple man here, and this would take him up 2 levels. Now I do want to say that you're not going to take every character up to level 80. But even with that, you still want to be spending that 777,000 at a minimum, because that's still how often a character comes out, and you want to be just efficient when it comes to leveling like that. Now, if you don't want to take if you're never going to take any characters from level 1 to 80, and you just want to keep everyone at level 1 to 70, which I don't recommend, then I guess you can lower that number, but I would definitely just recommend you try and hit this number every day. Now I know it costs a lot of training mats, and I know it costs a lot of gold. And I kind of want to go over real quickly where I think you should be taking certain characters. So we're going to start. I did a video about this the other day, and I highly recommend you go check it out, because it kind of guides you on where to level every character, and it's in more depth. But you're going to have 18 war teams. You're going to have 8 defenses and 10 war offense teams. I would say a minimum that you want those characters is to be whatever mandatory T4 that it's required. So you can put all the T4s on a character at level 70, but let's say you have a character that you don't need the T4 on an ultimate, but you do want the T4 on a special. The T4 on the ultimate requires level 70, the T4 on the special requires level 68, so I would say take them to level 68, put the T4 on them, and stop there. That way you can save a little bit of gold, but again, let's just say your war characters you want to be at level 70, gear 12, gear 11. Your campaign characters you want to take to, level 70, gear 11, maybe a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher. It depends specifically on what campaign nodes. Your challenge characters, you want to probably be level 75. A couple at gear 14, a couple at gear 12. Again, it depends on which characters. And you kind of want to eke by that as easily as you can without over investing. Your Doom Raid characters, your Arena characters, and your Dark Dimension characters you want to be up as high as you possibly need. So Dark Dimensions is going to be level 80 because that's required, gear 15, and your Arena characters you probably want at level 80, gear 15 just to be competitive. And then I would say Doom Raid characters you want level 80, gear 14. But yeah, I definitely recommend you still try and do this every day regardless of what you're going for. I also want to touch on Blitz characters. You want to have as many Blitz teams as you can to be competitive in Blitz. If you don't care about Blitz, then ignore this. But I would just say you in an ideal world, you want them all at level 60. I don't even have them all at level 60, but again, it's just a quick leveling guide for if you need that. All right, so let's talk about training mats and gold and how you can get more of those. To put it simply, let's start with an alliance. You need to be in a good alliance. You need to be in a growing alliance. You need to be in an alliance that wants to be growing. You can find plenty of alliances and recruitment channels and stuff that are looking for people. A lot of them have their minimum requirements, but they still go lower for that. They just want consistent people. If you want something from an alliance, you have to also be willing to put that into it. So if you're wanting people to do 8 attacks in war, it'll be expected of you to do that as well. And that is a great way to get gold orbs every day through the Greek raids. But let's talk specifically what you can control. And what you can control is Training Day and Gold Rush. You got to get to tier 14 on Training Day, and you got to get to tier 14 on Gold Rush. Another big boost to gold that you can get is you need to have 7-star merc, so you can do the payday event. That is a great way to do it. And then also come in every day and do your 50 power core refreshes. I'm actually not doing that right now because I'm trying to save power cores for new character releases. And also the characters that you see right here are the only characters that I have left to farm from campaign other than multiple man. And if you do the 50 power core refreshes, you'll get some gold. It's not a good standard of gold, but you'll get a lot of training mats. And then finally what you need to do is you need to make sure in your real-time arena you want to be doing the daily objectives at least, and you want to be going for these the training module objectives. This is just barely a little bit over what is needed to spend 777,825 every day. So when it comes to your alliance, I also want to touch up on that your alliance, you at least want them to be at about 60% for Greek raids. If we can go look at it, I'll show you why. In beta raid 4 right here, if you look at the rewards, this is tier 2, but or this is difficulty 2, but you're almost at about a gold orb every day. And if you're doing the milestones, which you kind of do naturally, you'll probably get a gold orb every day. Now, if you guys can do 100%, then that's great as well. But I also want to touch up on, if you cannot spend that 777,825, at least come in and hit milestone 10. So buy whatever you need from the store and then spend the rest on your character to level them up and get it to milestone 10. That way you can get 50 power cores. You can get 50 power cores every day, a couple milestone orbs. And I just think, honestly, if you hit this every day, you'll see progress. But yeah, that is basically what I would definitely recommend on how to keep up and catch up in Marvel Strike Force. What I do right now and what I would kind of recommend to people is go for newer characters and level them up. Newer characters are most likely going to be at least war characters. So for example, this is a bad example, but let's say you didn't need the ultimate on multiple man, which you kind of don't. It's not mandatory, but it definitely helps out X Factor. You can just take them up to, I believe, 65 and put the passive on them, or 67 and put the passive on them, and stop right there where you want. Again, I would say gear 11, maybe gear 12, but for most war characters, you don't want to put gold gear on just so you can hoard it as free to play. But yeah, I also want to talk about that right now I actually don't spend this 777,000. I spend more than that. So instead of doing it by 10 days, I do it by 9 days just so I can get a little bit ahead. Now, with the math that's stated, it's like you're barely making progress every day, but it does help a little bit more than that. You'll see progress. Characters are released, like I said, characters are released every 10 to 11 days, but it's more like 11 to 12. And that's because some months you have legendary characters and other characters along those lines. So each new patch takes about 33 days before you get a new one. So it is kind of closer to 11, I would think. I've done these videos in the past talking about like when level 75 was the limit and talking about how much you need to be spending with that. I know a lot of people like to save their gold orbs and save all their gold for when a milestone character comes out, such as Emma Frost. And I think that is a valid that's a valid system, but your roster is going to suffer for the 2 to 3 months that it takes for that character to come out. What I would say is once you find out that a character like that is coming out, then you start saving your gold orbs, and they always have a small little break, and that's the time that you should be saving, because if you're saving all your gold from the most recent Emma milestone and not leveling characters, you're going to be way behind. So like I said, I'm in a really good alliance. We're pushing really hard. We're a free-to-play alliance. They don't require us to spend, but there are people that spend, and that helps out a lot. but I think you can find a good alliance as free-to-play people. And I just want to show off, I have 68 gold orbs saved up for the Emma Frost event. This game takes time and investment, and as free-to-play, you're going to see the most growth just with the time that you put in. So yeah, again, if that 777,825 is really daunting right now, just give it time. Like I said, it took me 2 years to get to a point like that. I could have done it a little bit earlier if I had pushed correctly and known what I know now, but I definitely recommend that you try and do that every day, and again, at the minimum, you do milestone 10. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Let me know if you think I'm right. I want to know how much you plan on spending every day with 777,000. I also want to touch on, too, this strategy seems ridiculous as well. And this does not count for the gear or the T3s that you put in characters either. So when I tell people that they have to spend a lot, it's really daunting. But if you do the math behind it, you can keep up. But yeah, let me know where you think I'm right. Let me know where you think I'm wrong. I want to know what strategies you use to level up. I want to know where you take your war characters, your war characters, your campaign characters, your challenge characters, your arena characters, and your dark dimension characters. I want to know if you're free to play or not. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. On this channel, I do guides, I do orb openings, and I do streams, and I do all sorts of Marvel Strike Force stuff. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.